Hello, I'm Dr. Mugdha Raut, a gynecologist and a clinical reproductive immunologist, and co founder of Dr. Raut's Center for Reproductive Immunology, India's only dedicated center focused on immune related causes of infertility, pregnancy loss, and IVF failures. We at Dr. Raut's Center for Reproductive Immunology treat couples with unexplained repeated pregnancy loss, unexplained IVF failures, and unexplained infertility with the active immunomodulation Imulate, which is our patented and branded process, and other passive individualized reproductive immunomodulatory treatments. We have our centers in Mumbai and many other cities in India. Today, let us discuss the miscarriage syndrome. You must be wondering, what is miscarriage syndrome? First, let us understand the meaning of syndrome. A syndrome, medically, is a group of signs and symptoms that occur together and are associated with a particular condition or disorder. In simple terms, it means a set of medical problems that tend to appear together and suggest a specific illness or situation, even if the exact cause isn't always known. So, a syndrome is not just one symptom, it is a pattern of symptoms that doctors recognize as belonging together. So, today I will be discussing why is miscarriage a syndrome? What is miscarriage syndrome? Because pregnancy loss is more than an event. And what is the solution for the miscarriage syndrome? Firstly, let us discuss why is miscarriage a syndrome. For decades, miscarriage has been looked as one event, something unfortunate, something random, something we move on from. But in reality, it is not just an event, it's actually a signal that something deeper, something systemic is not functioning optimally. According to a study in the Journal of American Heart Association in 2020, which is a phenome wide analysis of short and long run disease incidence following recurrent pregnancy loss using data from a 39-year period, recurrent pregnancy loss or miscarriages is increasingly being recognized as a marker for long term heart, that is cardiovascular, endocrine, and metabolic disease, suggesting underlying systemic vulnerabilities that persist beyond reproductive years. So, now let us reframe the problem of repeated pregnancy loss. Miscarriage is far more common than we openly talk about. In fact, a large number of embryos are lost even before a woman realizes she's pregnant. And yes, many of these losses are due to chromosomal issues, but not all. And here's where things start to change because with each miscarriage, the risk of another loss increases. The chance of a successful pregnancy reduces, and the risk of complications in future pregnancies goes up. So, at some time, we have to ask, is this really just one event, or is there a pattern we are missing? Now, let us understand what is miscarriage syndrome. Instead of looking at miscarriage as a one time occurrence, we begin to see it as a part of a larger underlying process, a process that may not be visible in routine tests, but is very much real. To understand this, we need to look at what happens in early pregnancy or simply the maternal fetal interface. The uterus is not just a passive organ. It transforms into something called the decidua, a highly active environment that must accept the embryo, second, support placental development, and third is maintain immune balance. And this entire process is extremely well coordinated. It depends on natural killer cells and some other cells that help prepare the support tissue. So these are not just supporting players, they are central to whether a pregnancy continues or not. So, what happens when this system doesn't function properly? The body may not create a supportive environment for the embryo, and this can lead to poor implantation, weak placental development, early pregnancy loss, and the most important part is this dysfunction may persist, which means miscarriage may not be a one time event, but it may be a part of an ongoing imbalance. And now let us look at the systemic perspective, or how does it affect the body? And this is where it becomes very important because the same cells involved in early pregnancy also play a role in controlling inflammation, maintaining blood vessel health, and repairing tissues across the body. This is why we see that women with recurrent miscarriages or pregnancy losses may also have a high risk of preterm birth, placental complications, and even long term conditions like hypertension or diabetes. So, in many ways, miscarriage can act like an early stress test for the body. And at the core of this is something called immune balance. Normally, the body clears unhealthy or aged cells, maintains a healthy environment, supports implantation. But when this balance is disturbed, inflammation increases, tissue quality declines, and the environment becomes less supportive for pregnancy. And again, this may not show up in routine reports. Successful pregnancy requires a delicate immunological balance, and the maternal immune system should tolerate the semi allogenic fetus while maintaining protective immunity against pathogens. Disruption of this balance through altered cytokine signaling, regulatory T cells or Treg cell dysfunction, aberrant natural killer cell activity, autoantibody production may not only contribute to pregnancy loss but also be a precursor for chronic inflammatory conditions that manifest as cardiovascular and metabolic diseases decades later. So, this changes how we should think about miscarriage. Traditionally, we say two losses or three losses, but these numbers are arbitrary because sometimes, even after one loss, there may be an underlying issue. So, instead of asking, why did this pregnancy fail? We should be asking, is there a system in the body that is not functioning optimally? And the good news here is this understanding opens new possibilities because if miscarriage is linked to immune imbalance, cellular dysfunction, poor endometrial support, then these are areas we can actually work on. Modern approaches are now focusing on improving immune tolerance, supporting the body's acceptance of pregnancy, enhancing the overall environment for implantation. Because now the goal is not just to treat a miscarriage, the goal is to prepare the body for a healthy pregnancy. So today, I want to leave you with this thought: miscarriage is not always just bad luck or just a one time event. Sometimes it is the body trying to tell us something. And if we are willing to listen and look little deeper, we may find answers that routine tests don't show. Because sometimes the problem is not visible, but it is real. And increasingly, it is something we can understand and address. If you would like to understand whether reproductive immunology evaluation may be relevant in your case, you may consult us at Dr. Raut Center for Reproductive Immunology. You can call or WhatsApp us at +919833201522 or visit our website www.icprm.in. Now, if you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Do share this with at least one person who may be benefited from this treatment. You may change their lives forever. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments or direct message me. I will answer all your queries. Thank you once again.